What's up, Juventini? Welcome back to the HACR channel dedicated to Juventus. We got Yildiz locked in. All right. Oh, baby. The Prem head tears are flowing. We'll get to those mutts. Don't worry about it. But the core starting to get locked in, and there's news to follow around Yildiz. Just the first domino. So Juve starting to line things up and get things ready for the business that's going to come at season's end. We're going to tackle all that. And of course, we've got action today. We're going to take on Lazio, and hopefully we can bounce back with an emphatic victory. And hey, there's no better way than picking yourselves up and maybe giving yourself some solid positive vibes going into a home game against Lazio after a brutal Coppa Italia crash out, than locking in the best player on the team, Kenan Yildiz. And we're going to get right into it. We got Cliff, we got Nick today. Fellas, how you doing? Cliff, let's start with you. How you doing today, brother?
Doing fantastic. We have a great show in store for the people. Yildiz is officially locked in till 2030. It's a great day, guys. Let's get after it.
There you go. There you go. Nick, what the hell, man? How you doing?
Doing great. It's about time this club did something right in the last who knows how long at this point. Locking in the boy that everyone's salivating over in the entire freaking world at this point. Yeah, I'm just I'm glad to see it.
Yeah, we're going to get into it straight out of the gate, and then, you know, everything around it and the news around it and how Juve's going to act. We're going to take a second, say what's up to the Army. Apex in here. We got Tuna in here. Ciao Ciao, Wing of Winter. Cugino Eddie. We got Adam Khan. We need a win today for my sanity and for better jokes, all right? So, Adam, I expect a top drawer one today, okay? Let's go. And we got Chris in here. Sashko, Alex P, Forza Juve, ciao lads, great to see you. DR1S, great to see all you. Dybala, Oya Edits, great to see you. We've got Panda in here. Party after party for the Yildiz signing. We're going to have a lot of fun, okay? And Cugino Edit giving you a shout out for the great guitars in the background there, Nick. There you go. There you go. And our boy Cliff in the champagne room. We know what happens in the champagne room, okay? So take it easy. Now, take it easy. Guys, Yildiz locked in, okay? Contract extended by a year to 2030, but the salary bumped up, making him one of the top paid players at the club. It's expected that with bonuses, once Vlahovic leaves, he is going to be the highest paid player. And you know what? Deservedly so. But you talk about the announcement and the way it went down, and it was pretty cool. It was all class. The, you know, the post, the videos, it was all fantastic, you know. So you have this surprise at this Spalletti press conference where he's going to talk about the Lazio match, and you have the announcement right there on the spot with Yildiz there and the signing. It was just awesome. Well done. Treated with absolute class. The video's coming in, and now there's expected to be maybe a little bit on-field celebration today so the fans can actually celebrate locking him up on this move. But yeah, I just thought the whole thing was class, and the way they did it and the presentation, everything was just top drawer. What'd you think, Cliff?
Well, I think you said it perfectly out, is that they did this signing, this renewal with the respect it deserved, with the class it deserved, the quality of player that Yildiz is. You gave him the proper, you know, video, the proper tribute for this renewal that it deserved. So I'm really, really pleased with how Juve handled this. Finally getting the deal done early this year now in 2026. Now it's, you know, up to them to re-sign some other key players. McKennie, we've heard talks about Kalulu getting re-signed. So, you know, this is a really, really good first step, and rightfully so. He's the highest player soon to be on the Juventus squad.
There you go. And Nick, how'd you like that announcement?
Yeah, I mean, I think you guys already said all the stuff I was already gonna say. It's just about time, you know.
Yeah.
I've been waiting for this, and it's just like we like to drag our feet clearly with a lot of things, especially lately. And I was a little surprised when they did it, like just now, but I'm just glad that it happened. And yeah, he's getting the respect he deserves, and I think it's important for the club to show how important he is to us and how much we want him here. So
Yeah.
yeah, real happy.
It wouldn't be that extra bit special if we didn't have some Chihuahuas out there that had this sense of belief that they actually stood a shot. Let's take a look at some of these reactions out there, okay? Just in my opinion, this guy is the most overrated upcoming player. He's not getting 10 goals in the Premier League. Serie A is a comfort zone for him. Woo! You don't think Kenan Yildiz would get 10 goals in the Premier League where they don't defend worth a shit and it's all offense? You got another thing coming. But it's not your fault, okay? It's not your fault. I say it all the time, okay? Mothers should never be drinking during pregnancy, okay? But this belief that you had that you were actually going to land Kenan Yildiz, hey, that's on you, brother. It's not on him. Most overrated player. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. The delusion. What about, let's take a look at this one. All right. Wasn't the biggest fan of him as our left winger. Barcola, please. Listen, the fact that your tin pot club, okay, Arsenal, thought they had a chance of getting this guy, again, you're just living in a fantasy world, okay? And now you're trying to cope. The level of cope is unbelievable with these Prem heads, okay? And
Crazy.
Made it extra special to just be able to deliver one of these to all of them. But I was laughing my ass off on social media all day yesterday after it was announced, with these guys making up every excuse under the sun about why this guy isn't good enough. And Arsenal shouldn't even be looking at him. I love every second of it, man. The tears, let the tears flow. Boys, Cliff, you were going to say something here.
Yeah, I was going to say there's so much cope, we should just call everybody cope miners at this point.
Boys. Hey, there's a player that's in their alley. There you go.
Yeah,
sure.
I mean, cope miners really is he's a proper Arsenal player, in my opinion.
You know.
Can we send him to, like, Antarctica? Just anywhere.
These guys are so spot on. You know what? Yildiz is definitely overrated. You should take cope miners, okay?
Yep, exactly.
I'd hate to see cope miners leave, okay? But, yeah, I don't know what's more embarrassing. The fact that they had a shot or all the coping now that he's locked up. And I'm going to finish on this one, why this move was important, why you had to get it done, and just everything around it. Because this was one of the things that was fired at a lot of Juventini who were celebrating this deal, okay? You got to listen to the chirps, oh, you're celebrating this like a trophy. First off, that was coming from Merda fans. You're the only ones that have celebrated something that wasn't earned. And a piece of fucking cardboard, okay? Don't forget that real trophy's at home. You've got the replica. So you could suck on that one. Now, when you get to the other Chihuahuas, they were saying this. Guys, you're celebrating so hard. It's just a signature. Guess what? Somebody comes in with 100 million euros. He's gone. No. I don't believe it. And I'll tell you why. Everybody was focusing on this presser where he says, you know, Io amo Juventus. I love Juventus. And everybody was focusing on that. I didn't actually focus so much on that. I focused on the more raw, uncut little video he did from inside the stadium when they were doing the video shoot and they were doing the filming and the photos. And the reason is because he said a piece in there that was spot on. And he said, you know, you guys, through the good times and the bad times, I want us to stay together and we will achieve great things together. This fucking guy ain't going anywhere. He ain't going anywhere. He's locked in. It's not an Io amo Juventus line. No, it's right there. This guy's giving you old school loyalty vibes. And, yeah. My thing was when all this chatter was coming around all these other guys, all these other clubs, you kill that. You squash it immediately and you plant that flag. This is our guy. So Both parties always wanted to continue. They got it done. It was beautiful. But those words rang louder to me in my ears than Io amo Juventus. You guys believe the same thing? Or I don't think he's going anywhere, even if somebody comes knocking with a high price. I don't think he's going anywhere. You feel the same way, Nick?
Yeah, he ain't going anywhere. And it's a good thing to see, because that type of loyalty is you don't really see that much anymore, which is very sad. There's not really any there aren't really many club legends really in the making right now either. It's like no one stays at a club anymore, and it sucks, because that was what attached fans to maybe the club in the first place, or just the player in general, or the whole picture. And we don't really have that connection anymore because of that. No one stays at one club. But if he ends up staying here for the most of his career, if not his whole career, that'd be awesome. And I really hope he does, because and as of right now, the way he's talking, it seems like that could be a very possible thing. So
Absolutely. And the other thing, like, to those chihuahuas that keep want to rip that, someone's going to come knock and they're going to put that money down and you're going to say goodbye. I don't think so. But here's the thing. Is it easier to lure a player that's significantly underpaid at 1.7 million euros, or is it easier to lure a player that's made the top paid player at his club, given the 10, one of the captains on the team, etc.? You know the answer. It's going to be a lot harder to lure him away now that you've committed and locked in and made that and established that with this player. This is a massive move that had to happen. It was a no-brainer. Cliff.
So there's a couple things that makes this re-signing, this renewal, so important. This is one of many things that needed to happen to keep Yildiz interested with the club, keep him intrigued. One of those is getting him a vice. Got him a vice for the rest of the season with Boga. We need to get him a vice through the rest of this into next season. We renewed him now. That's another block. Champions League. Let's see if we can make it past the the playoffs into the next stage. That will be another key factor. But this re-signing, every word he said sounded like the right thing. It sounds like he's engaged. We see his play on the pitch. He seems always on the front foot. He always wants to put in his best efforts. Aside from other players, we're not going to name them, Cambiaso. I think he always,
watch it.
He's always shown his passion and his love for Juventus, and this just kind of solidified it in his press conference for this renewal. So I think he said all the right things. He shows his love for Juve. He doesn't just say it; he shows it. So I don't think he's going anywhere.
Yeah, and the other thing too is. I don't think you could stress enough the importance and significance that Spalletti has probably played in this with the big shift. We talked about it, like, you are still going to have ups and downs with this team. I think that much is evident now in what we're seeing. There's going to be blips here and there, but the amount of work that he's been able to put in and the amount of improvement he's been able to get in a short period of time also spearheads this whole move. And the way, not just one player, not just two players, the way all the players are talking about Spalletti is, I haven't seen that in quite some time. The one thing with Allegri, we might not have liked the play and the results were not where they needed to be, but all the players did respect him and hold him in high regard. But Spalletti is getting kind of the best of both worlds. So you look at this is the first seen as a domino effect, okay? It starts with Yildiz, and the rumors don't stop. You've got Weston McKennie. The rumors suggest that it is done as far as a verbal agreement goes. The rumors are Juventus and McKennie have a verbal agreement on a renewal. When you get to Spalletti apparently is close with Juventus as well on a multi-year contract. Juve doesn't want it to be inelegant. They don't want it to just be an automatic option that kicks in. They want to show faith in him. They want him, of course, to have a couple of years to run this thing to see what can happen in this cycle. That's on deck. Yesterday, you heard that Kalulu is next on deck for an extension, also to 2030, with a slight bump in pay. Then you hear Kefren Turam is expected to get a pay hike and a 1-year renewal as well. So they're starting to lock in on these pieces. So now all of a sudden it's Yildiz, it's Turam, it's Kalulu, it's McKennie, and Spalletti. You've already got some other guys here that are on some long-term deals. What happens with them in the summer? It is, but there's very much the vibe right now that they're getting their ducks in a row to prepare for the summer. Like, they're getting everything ready. They want their renewals done. They want to see where they stand annually at that point, and then they're going to move from there. We've heard a lot about these free agents that they are in the mix with and trying to land pre-agreements with a couple of them. But for the first time, I can actually say, if this all holds true, I actually feel like we are moving rather well under the new management. For the first time, feels like, okay, we're going to be entering the summer, if things go according to the plan, ready to know where we're going after. Because the one thing I said, the winter is the winter. I always expected rentals, etc. But the summer, you can't be slow. If you have a plan of attack, you got to execute it. You got to get after it. Some teams will play games and that'll delay you, etc. And that happens at times. But let's see. For the first time, I can actually say it looks like they're lining things up quickly and getting things going. And I'm actually I'm looking forward to seeing what they could do in the summer. I'm skeptical. I'm skeptical about Kamoli, etc. But I like what I'm hearing right now about locking some of these guys up, just rewarding them and getting ready for the summer. Guys feel the same way?
Yeah, I agree. Was Locatelli in there too for one of the renewals?
No.
Do you remember?
But Locatelli is a lot of rumors around Manchester United.
That's right.
Looking around at him and etc.
So my thing with that is he, like, I feel like you're going to agree with this to an extent, but he is literally one of the most important pieces of this team as a whole right now. Has been for the last, like, year or so, at least. And he's improving every month, right? As a player, as, you know, captain. And I personally feel like we should renew him, but if we don't, we need to find a really good replacement because we're losing a lot with him. And you saw it when he came off the field last game. It was 1-0. We were playing pretty good, honestly. I thought we were playing pretty decent. We didn't score, but, like, whatever. Like, we were still playing good. He was still moving the ball, doing his thing. The moment he came off, to me, everything went straight downhill super fast. Which is a problem.
And Locatelli does carry another couple of years. He's at 2028 for his contract. Yeah. But I guess we'll say, what's the core for you? Panda's coming in here saying Kalulu, Loca, Big Mac, Yildiz. That's the core. R9. What's your core? We'll start with Cliff, then get to Nick. Cliff, what's your core?
So my core currently is Bremer, Locatelli, Yildiz. That's my three, and Big Mac. So that's the four that I think is super important because, you know, Mac's the utility player, Bremer is the spine out the back, Locatelli's the spine through the middle, and then Yildiz is obviously one of the key players, or the key player in the final attack. So those are my four key players that are super, super integral to this entire team.
Okay. Nick, what's your core?
It's exactly who Cliff just named. And I'm going to add Kalulu only because this guy's a freaking machine. Like, he gets up and down the field, never stops running, and he's always going to give you, like, at least 6.7 to 7 performance every game. At least. it seems like more so now. He's a very consistent player. He's getting up down the field. He's just a tank. Um,
Yeah.
and I think he offers a lot. He's like a McKennie style player to me, just because he is just everywhere a lot of the time. And he's reliable. So for the most part, so I might add him in there too. But for the most part, I think the player's Cliff name. I'm also right there. So
I
I
was going to
think
say too about Kalulu. We saw early in the season he struggled because he was playing that right wing back position. Now that we see him truly playing in a center back position, he really has thrived because he's naturally a center back. We saw that when he was at Milan. He's naturally a center back, and he plays so much better when he's not asked to go forward and be an attacking wing back. So now we see how important and how crucial he could be to this team.
yeah, I think the system helps too.
he's been playing right back a lot lately in this hybrid 4-2-3-1 that we end up with. I was actually going to
Yeah.
say that the last couple games his crossing has been way better. Like all of
This
a
is true.
sudden it seems
Yeah.
like it's hitting the mark of the danger zone much more frequently. The wing back thing was off. Center back in a back four is where I don't think he thrives. I think his absolute best is when we are in a three-man back set as that right center back is just phenomenal. When he has that freedom to make the
Exactly.
decisions, hey, I'm going to step up, be that extra guy here or not. But as a fullback, it's still doable. And I go back to
Yeah.
last season where he was part of our back line that got us through one of the best phases of the season, and
Yeah.
it even went on without Bremer, etc. But core, Juve's core is Bremer for me, Locatelli, Yildiz absolutely have to. I'm going to throw Thuram in there because him and Locatelli actually do form a good partnership. I just believe Thuram needs to give us that extra little bit in the final phase. But I will throw him in there, and Kalulu, I believe, needs to be in there. And I think McKennie has proven to be a very important player for this club, and I think he should be considered in that core. So the Juvengers, whatever the hell you want to call them, are pretty much in there.
Juvengers.
But David will leave him out. Lloyd Kelly's getting some shouts in the chat. He's been solid this year, but I think you can upgrade the position, to be quite honest. But hey, having extra guys that you want to put in the shout is just a really positive, because I think it shows you there's probably less work needed to take this team to another level than we actually believe. Kenan Yildiz locking him up is definitely a symbol of ambition and getting this team where it needs to be. That's a statement signing. The Premeds are crying, and I love every second of it. But the core, we seem pretty much on the same page as to who the core is. So we move from there, and I actually think it's a very good group when you're talking about the core. So let's see if Juve can build on that this summer. There are some names that are thrown out there, some that I like, some that I don't like. But when you're talking about ambition and you're talking about some of these moves, it's going to be interesting to see. But we've called it for a while that this summer is going to be where we really learn about the management group and who we have here. Because, we've called out a couple things. Experience, which I think you have to look at. In the summer, you got to bring some experienced players. That's why Bernardo Silva is like one of the players at the top of my list for Juve for a number of reasons. Number one, he has the style, he has the traits and everything that we actually lack, in my opinion. That final ball, that little killer that can roam around in there and create havoc, and the experience, an experienced winner, a veteran. Like that, bring me that tomorrow. So Silva's at the top of the list. I think striker, finding like an actual 9 lead man, maybe a big man, very important. And honestly, center back help and figuring out the outside. Figuring out that outside position. Cambiaso, hey, where he's going to be followed from here on out. He's kind of Is he at the top of your to sell list? Chat, who is at the top of your to sell list? I've got 2, and they're neck and neck.
You already know. You already know who was at the top of mine. I'll tell you that much.
Hey, man, well, Pinsolio's going to retire, so take it easy.
Get him out of my club.
It's Cambiasso and Coat Miners for me at the top of the list. You're going to make money on one. You might take a hit on the other. But, man, I don't know. I think that Cambiasso Coat Miners has a long way to go. Like, I don't even see it happening. The level he needs to turn to in the remaining season to get me to change my mind about saying goodbye is I don't see it happening. Cambiasso, God damn it, he's got what it takes to do it. I don't understand why the best part of his game has completely disappeared. And some people are saying it is actually because of Yildiz. If that's the case and these two can't figure it out, well, guess what? Yildiz ain't going anywhere, so you're still at the top of the list.
It's Yildiz's fault that he can't pass to our players? That's cap. That's bullshit. There's no... Yeah, get out of here.
Talking about the space occupied by Yildiz gives Cambiasso only one move, and that's central inside where Yildiz needs to go, etc. But it's all just a bunch of bullshit to me. Good players find a way to make it work, period. I'm not buying it. They're at the top of my list. Coat Miners, Cambiasso. Cliff, top of your sales list? I think top of everybody's sale list. You're looking at here. Oh, Luis. Some are throwing Luis in because he's probably coming back and then we have to find a deal for him. But it looks like magically his fitness issues all disappear when he goes right back home where he started. Comfort zone player. Premheads want to talk about a comfort zone player. Talk about Yildiz. Fuck. Stare down the barrel of Douglas Luiz, please. Because that guy is a comfort zone player. Oh, I broke up with my girlfriend. Fuck. Suck it up. Man the fuck up, man.
Grow up. For me, I think it's probably Milik. I think we've all forgot about Milik. I think he needs to get the hell out of the club because he's getting free treatment every other week.
Who?
Actually,
Hold on. Somebody threw in the chat lifetime contract for Milik. Thoughts? I saw that up here a little bit. That's what I was...
Jeez, maybe to be the espresso boy. I don't know, but
maybe to change the sheets at J Medical in the treatment beds for fuck's sakes. Like, this is a joke. No, he can leave immediately.
Yeah, I mean, if we don't count him, it's Coop, Douglas Luiz, and Cambiasso. I think the problem is now with his drop in form, Cambiasso is gonna be a really hard commodity to sell unless he finds at least some semblance of the form that he had before when, City was coming after him. In hindsight, it's always hindsight's 2020. That deal looks incredible now that we didn't sell him to City. But I mean, we could say, players of the past who did the same thing, like Alexandro, he was at his peak. We could have sold him to Chelsea at the time, and then we didn't, and then we saw him drop in form. So it's like you take these gambles with these players, you hope they're going to keep performing, but then sometimes players just lose form, and it just happens, and it just does. They never recover. So I think for me, it's Cambiasso. I think Pedin's a bit harsh because he's a good backup, but I would say Coop, Luis, those guys. Those are at the top of my list.
on my sales list.
Also, I was gonna say I heard a shout that my beard wasn't real. This is 100% real hair.
It's fake. Don't let him fool you.
Come on, Cliff. Nobody gives a shit. Come on.
No, it's not AI like Nick. Nick is AI. I am not AI.
Yeah, this isn't real. None of this. The guitars especially are fake. They're not real.
It's all fake.
Perin is on my sales list.
Really?
Yeah, and Gatti. Okay. And Gatti.
Whoa, come on. Backup striker, man, just in case.
No. He's got to go. Perin, this makes me think. I started talking about players when their will is to leave. And I talked about Juve, in my opinion, sometimes needs to kind of shut it down for what's better for the group, etc. Because we've always been willing to just not really put up a fight. You want to go, see you later. I think this, as of late, Cambiasso and Perin are poster boys for me rethinking what I thought about that and us always giving in and just saying, yeah, you know what, let's let him go. He doesn't. No, they've been absolutely right. I was wrong to think otherwise, and I know that the one I always go back to was Pogba, because I felt like we should have fought and told him, like, stay, man. Like, you'll be better off to stay. Juve will be better off to stay. But you know what? Cambiasso and Perin have completely flipped my opinion on that, and fuck it. When a guy wants to go, wants to leave, see you later. Because Perin, fuck, I have no... It doesn't feel safe anymore with him behind the pipe. So that whole thing about him being reliable, what ain't happening? In the last 10 matches, 2 wins, 3 draws, 5 losses with Perin in goal. Like, it ain't happening. Cambiasso, since the rumors, since he accepted, had a verbal agreement on a phone call, one phone call with those guys, fucking bye-bye, because he's been dog shit ever. So now, these 2 guys have completely changed my opinion. When a player wants to go, you want to go, there's the door. See you later.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I agree.
I mean, that makes sense. I would like to see, besides that fact, I would like to see if Cambiasso can turn it around between now and the end of the season somehow. I honestly, at this point, I don't really know if he will. Before I throw him up there in the shit list in the top 2 or 3.
He's the guy I would, if I had to put money on, would probably do something better from here to, it's him over Gatti or Cope Miners, etc.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly. Well, which is why I'm saying that, is because, like, I mean, we all know there's, a good player in there. We've seen it time and time again. It's just like the last half year, 8 months, 9 months, it's just been god awful from him. I don't know what the hell is going on, but yeah, Coop Miners is at the top for sure.
Yeah.
Dude, cut your losses. This guy just can't play football. He can't play the sport. It's simple as that. I'm overwatching it.
The Cambiasso thing, we talked about it with the post-match show Luca and I did on that Coppa Italia clash. Look, it's sad. It's sad that you go from 23-24 season where this guy is brought up amongst the best in his position in the world, and you get to a point now where he's a pick your poison decision in the starting 11 because you have nobody better. That's a fucking drop and a half, boys. Like, that's sad. He's become an on his day player. You know?
Yeah.
On his day. And good luck trying to call out when his day is going to be. Okay? Cole Miners is going to score today now from Colo. Great seeing you in here, Cole. Look, every time I shit on players, they usually perform. So fingers crossed, because is Cope going to be in the starting lineup? We'll take a look at that game coming up today against Lazio.
I got a question. Can we get our boy Colo on the show? That's my boy.
It's been a while since Colo's been on, and yeah, we might have to get him back in here. Colo.
Also, can I make a shout for the Perin show? I want to say something about the Perin show, Al. We actually have a very promising young keeper who's currently on loan at Avellino, one of my favorite clubs now in Serie B, where my family's from. He's actually having a really, really strong season with them in Serie B. Obviously, it's the league below, but he's put up some really, really impressive performances, made some really good saves. He could potentially come up at some point and be the backup, I think, to Di Gregorio. He wouldn't be asked to play every match, obviously, but he could be a Coppa Italia player. He could be a player who comes in lower stake matches and maybe fill in. Yeah.
Well, it's interesting to see, but I mean, when you're talking about a backup keeper, we've had a luxury for a while with having a couple strong keepers, but the Perin thing, once the reliability's in question or gone, I mean, and then now you factor in the fact that he was trying to go somewhere so that he could get starting minutes. You counteract it, and here we go. We're starting to see a trend. Keeping guys around, big dip. So I just say, fuck it. When these guys want to go, see you later. Yeah. Now, Lazio. We got to talk about this matchup. We got to start previewing this and get into it. Lazio actually won the reverse fixture 1-0, okay, in October. They can now seek a first league double over Juve since. Any guesses on the year? Chat? Boys? Any guess on the year since the last time Lazio pulled a league double on Juve?
Long time ago.
1976. I don't know.
It's past that, okay? I think Skanga had graduated 10 years prior, 1943, okay? So 1943.
I was going to say 1950. That's even worse.
Yeah, Skanga remembers it. 1943, the last time Lazio pulled a league double over Juve. Maurizio Sarri, familiar with him too, as he came in for Juventus. Didn't last long, 1 year, did win a Scudetto. And that's where the disarray started with Juventus and management and just the constant changes, no real direction. But Maurizio Sarri, that's going to give me agita seeing this guy on the sideline, okay? Because it represents a time where we started to lose ourselves and just where the hell are we going? What are we doing? But anyways, he's enduring a turbulent second spell in charge of the Biancocelesti, with the club's transfer policy causing a very public rift in the camp. Lazio have slumped down to 8th after shedding several key players from an already slim squad, now 9 points adrift of 6th place Como. They look likely to miss out on Europe for a second straight season, okay? And again, little glimmer of light for them when Cataldi's, I think it was the 100th minute penalty decided a 3-2 win over Genoa at the weekend. But no side has scored fewer goals on the road than Lazio. 6 goals in 11 matches. That's also their worst tally since 1990. Okay? Wow. And they have only won 3 games on the road so far. Oof. Juve, obviously, we're coming off an absolute shocker. Okay? As far as the result goes, shocker. The play had some bright spots here and there and had 12 minutes of dominance in the second half where we just couldn't find anything. But yeah, we have to keep it moving in Serie A before a very important week where you have a Valentine's Day Derby d'Italia. Okay? Nothing says Happy Valentine's Day than dishing out one of these to those rats. Okay? But anyways, a very important week coming up for Juventus. No better time. The timing of this Yildiz announcement was perfect. You need a bounce back. You're going to have a celebration with the fans. Yildiz expected to start, get to the lineups. You couldn't have picked a better time. You got a downer. You're looking at another boost. Boom. Lock it in. The atmosphere should be electric in the stadium. That's one thing that's been solid this season. Got to give them props. The stadium has been rocking. It needs to be rocking. You've got an awful road team coming in, one that doesn't score on the road. You take advantage and you hammer these fools, okay? Keep the celebration rolling on the pitch. Now, we talked about it. No team has scored more goals, though, in the second half stoppage time than Lazio. 5 goals in second half stoppage time. That's 21% of their goal total. It's weird. It's absolutely weird. So the key for Juve, don't keep it close. Don't keep it close because maybe these assholes strike late. Juve are the team to have beaten Lazio the most times in Serie A. We find this with pretty much every team because we just have been so dominant in our history, but we have beaten them 87 times. Okay? We're also the team with the most goals scored against them, netting 288 times, which is at least 19 more than any other side has managed. The Bianconeri haven't lost a home game against Lazio in the second half of a Serie A season since 2000. 2000. Wow. I was grade 10, by the way. 2000. And drawing 4 of the 13 such fixtures since. The Bianconeri managed to score in each of the last 12 home league games against Lazio, averaging 2.3 goals per game in that time. Since Spalletti's arrival on the bench, Weston McKennie is the Serie A midfielder with the most goals scored across all competitions with 6. Considering all players, Only Lautaro Martinez with 11 and Scamacca with 8 have scored more times than Wes across all competitions for Serie A players. Kenan Yildiz has had a hand in 25 Serie A goals since his debut in the competition. 17 goals, 8 assists, and since 2004-2005, only 3 players have managed more before turning 21. Domenico Berardi, Alexander Pato. There's an old shout there, Pato. And Balotelli. Those are the only 3 to have produced more than Yildiz in that debut before turning 21. David, 5 league assists so far this season. He's only managed more in a single league campaign in 2024-25 than managing 5. So he already looks set to break that. He's been more of the setup guy than he has the killer for Juve, and that's fine if these other guys are going to bury. And speaking of bury, we'll talk about it because one of the guys got called out by the coach, and Spalletti remaining consistent, and I like it. Pierre Kalulu, the first non-Italian Juventus defender to provide at least 5 assists in a single season. Since, any guesses on the 2 guys, non-Italian defenders, to provide at least 5 assists in a season?
Non-Italian defenders. Mehdi Benatia?
No.
I don't know.
Wait, is Caceres?
They were both very short stints. The first non-Italian defender to provide 5 assists since Cancelo 2018-2019, Dani Alves 2016-2017. They must have not considered Cuadrado defending because Cuadrado had a season where he did that. So I just don't think they're considering him in that. That's legitimately off Juve's page too. So yeah, I'd question that one. I have to challenge it. I think Cuadrado's in there. But Cancelo is and Alves is as well. Now, Lazio Serie A form. Last 6, 2 wins, 2 draws, 2 losses. For Juve, it's 4 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw in Serie A, their last 6. Injury list heading into this one. Lazio's is headlined by the club captain Zaccagni. Gigot and Lazzari also expected to miss out. Furthermore, defender Alessio Romagnoli has been training separately, and a 1-match ban is going to see Luca Pellegrini miss this opportunity as well to play against Juve. Milik for Juve, yes. Vlahovic, yes. Sure. Chico dealing with an adductor issue. He is in the squad list though, but not expected to start. We're going to get to lineups here, everybody, before we get these absolute mutts off the screen. Okay, one mutt to some more mutts. Provedel in goal. Marusic, Gia, Romagnoli, Tavares, Taylor, Cataldi, Basic. Up top, Isaacson, Pedro, and Daniel Maldini leading. Expected to get that front 3, the signing there in the winter mercato. So 4-3-3. It's obviously very makeshift. They are missing some guys there. I don't know if I'd expect that to be 100%, but I also don't really care. Juve needs to take care of business. This is what Juve is expected to do with one change. Okay, so CD Gregorio back between the sticks. Kalulu, Bremer, Kelly, Cambiaso. There is several shouts where Cope Miners is actually going to be playing instead of Kelly today.
Oh, Christ.
We'll see if that actually is what plays out. Locatelli, Thuram, McKennie, Miretti, Yildiz, and Jonathan David.
Hell yeah. So
there you go with the lineup. Guys, thoughts going into this game? How do you think it's going to go? What do you think about that lineup? Any changes you'd make, etc.? But what do you think, Nick?
5-0.
Alrighty, that's...
So Nick doesn't even want to talk about anything. He just wants to get straight to the predictions. Okay,
5-0. No, that lineup's good. I like that lineup a lot, actually.
Is this our there are some arguing this is our best lineup. It's obviously missing Chico
It's
Conceição, but they're saying this is our best lineup. Do you agree that this is our best lineup, 1A lineup?
right now, yes. Besides, like you said, Chico potentially swapping with well, you would have to shift maybe McKennie in the middle there and then put him out wide. But I think they offer different things. So either way, they're interchangeable depending on the game and who they're up against. But that is definitely a variation of the best lineup right now. So I agree with that.
Yeah. It has been, and it also hasn't been. I mean, they flip at times. At times it looks like you got to have Chico out there. At times it looks like you got to have Miretti out there. I think it's very game dependent.
It is, yeah, and it's like they all offer different things as players, as individuals. So yeah, exactly that. Depends on who they're up against.
Against Lazio in this game today, I actually think you'll be absolutely fine with this lineup, and I think you'd be absolutely fine if Chico were to play. But the thing is, Chico really earns his keep, and you'll see that when teams hone in on Yildiz. When he has the triples consistently that he's got a breakthrough, that's where Chico his importance really comes up. But Spalletti called him out and said he just needs to be better in front of goal. Says he needs to be calmer, and he needs to it's funny because I talked about this. I'm still willing to back Chico because I still see a big improvement from last season to this season, and I feel like that's going to come, becoming a little bit more prolific, but it is a flaw in his game. I agree with Spalletti stating it and calling it out because he's staying consistent. He's keeping all these guys in check, and he's done it since he's gotten here, and I appreciate it, and I really respect him for doing that. I think it's the right thing. Chico, I said it. When you play with a certain urgency, a certain intensity, like it could be hard to hone in. There's obviously a clear moment where he misses Thuram in that last game, where you have to see him. You have to understand that that's the pass. Lay it off. He's staring down an open cage, especially with Carnesecchi coming out. But the thing is that he's trying to beat his man. Whenever you see any player trying to beat his man, usually their head goes down as they're dribbling. And it's tough. If that's a part of a guy's game, sometimes that happens. Will it get better? Let's see. Time will tell. But Spalletti calls him out for being better in front of goal. I think it's a right call. And I actually, you know what? When you're doing all the other things right, this is why, for me, is like I feel like it's a matter of time. I don't feel like I'm questioning, is he ever going to get more prolific? Whatever. I feel like it's a matter of time because he's doing so many other things right. And in my opinion, he's improved from last year. Last year, there was way more sequences that ended up with absolutely nothing in the attack that were at his feet versus this season. For that reason alone, I think he'll be okay. But for this game today, whether you put Chico out there, whether you put Miretti out there, I think you'll be absolutely fine. I think you'll absolutely be fine. Cliff.
I've been super first I'll go to the lineup first. I think this is a great lineup. I think this is Juve's best lineup at the current moment. I think it gives you the right balance of being able to hold possession, dictate the tempo, as well as being able to counter with the pace on the team. Having the IQ, I think, of McKennie in his current form is, integral. And I think Miretti needs to be getting more time in the center of the park to be, pushing things forward and dictating that attacking final third, starting play up from the attacking standpoint, from the midfield position. The Chico point, I've been very consistent with how I feel about Chico. I love his engine. I love his just energy because, obviously I'm not going to compare myself to him. But when I play winger and pickup and stuff, I keep my head down. I keep my, I know, Nick. But I have, tunnel vision. It's very easy to get tunnel vision. And it's something Chico needs to be very, mindful of. It's something you have to consciously tell yourself when you're playing is head up, look for the open man, being ready for the next decision, scanning before you're receiving the ball to look at what the options are. He's obviously a professional footballer, so he knows how to play the game. It's just really he has to consciously tell himself, hey, look at those options. Look at the field before you make your next decision because He has every other part of the game. It's just the final decision making that's missing, and that's probably what's keeping him out of this match. But he's a really skillful player, a really high energy player, and you need players like him on the team. And like you said, Al, the match dictates who's in the starting lineup at this moment in time. And I think you could go either way, but I think just on McKennie's current form, that's why he's getting into this match. And I think we see a key contribution from McKennie in this match, whether it's a goal or an assist.
I think you've got to get McKennie a little bit of a break too at some point. But I mean, now you're playing this game, and then you have essentially almost a week until you face Inter Merda. So it is what it is at this point. What do you think keys for success for Juve in this game? What do you think against Lazio? I honestly... I don't know, man. I think it's going to be pretty straightforward. I'm not going to lie. I actually think Juve is going to dominate the ball on them.
Well, I was going to say, really, like, you look at the attack, Maldini as the number 9. That doesn't really give me a lot of confidence if I were a Lazio fan. And then that midfield, it's not really impressive. I think the only player that kind of worries me, he's a bit of a tricky player, is Kenneth Taylor, recently coming in from Ajax. He could be dangerous at times, so he's someone we have to watch out for. But from a holistic standpoint, I think we run that midfield, and I think we overtake them in the attack. I don't think they're that strong in any phase.
Yeah. I see a long day at the office coming for Lazio. Like, I really do. I think we're going to dominate the ball. Our midfield against that one, all day, every day, twice on Sunday. Dominate the ball. And for the love of God, take Chico out of the equation. The decision-making just has to be better from everybody. It really does. And these guys have to shoot. Like Thuram, again, in Coppa Italia, a couple opportunities to shoot the ball. Shoot the damn ball. We did not we didn't even test Carnesecchi. We didn't even really test him. Outside of Chico, nobody tested him. And that's one of the major issues I have there, is because he's the kid getting shit on. He's the only one that tested him. He's the only one that had the balls to actually try and test him on a couple occasions. He missed a pass here, but holy shit. The other guys, start firing that ball when you get a line of sight on goal. But whatever we do, tempo's always key to hurting these teams. This is not going to be a clampdown match from Lazio by any means. So tempo is going to be huge. Get these guys rolling. But to that, how do you think now when you're coming down to prediction time? Chat, hit us with your predictions, final score. Give me a couple tiebreakers for fun if you like, but let's start with Nick. Give me your prediction. Let's go.
So, I think if we score a goal within the first 15 minutes, it could be like a 4-5-0 game, which I hope it is.
Holy smokes.
So we get a bounce back from last, whatever you want to call that last game, whatever the hell that was, because I just want to see a lot of goals, first of all. Second of all, it's possible. It's very possible. I think we can do it. I just think we're a team at times where if we don't score early, we can find ourselves in a bit of trouble. So if we get something early, I think it's just smooth sailing from there, personally. But dude, going back to what you said, there were so many times last game and just in general throughout this season where it's like I'm yelling at my TV, shoot the fucking ball.
Oh yeah.
Shoot the ball. What are you doing? We're trying to walk the ball. We're trying to head the ball in the goal from the ground, like crawl up to it and fucking, what are we doing? Just shoot it. It's not that hard.
Now, we talked about the lineup. There is something interesting here.
I love that take. I think that's a great take. Do you want to know why I think it's a great take now? Because I don't think this Lazio side is so strong where Loca's a must start in this match. That's why I take that opinion of Colo, and I really agree with it because I think this could be a match that you can get away with not playing Loca and still get a win out of it.
I think you trust your guys. I think you trust your main guys to be able to handle the situation and alter their games, and we'll learn a lot with him. But for me, I'm not super concerned about it. I think Loca will obviously know about that heading into this game. You don't have anybody else that can actually operate that midfield, man. I wouldn't even take that chance. No. These points are so crucial. He can get a rest after we're 2-0 up, 3-0 up, 70th minute. See you later.
Maybe.
So you don't think they could get away with Thuram, McKennie, and like a Miretti, and then putting say Chico on the right wing?
No.
Okay,
I don't
that's
think it's
fair.
gonna happen
That's fair.
anyways, but we could get away with it. I just don't. I don't know. I don't know about that.
Okay, that's fair.
McKennie seems to operate fantastically with the freedom.
Yeah.
Freedom moving forward. He's not going to dictate tempo in a midfield. Kefren Thuram won't either. Neither one of them will. Miners had his chance. Not even fucking close.
So say you're up 1-0.
Miretti, you could, and I think he could dictate out of the midfield. The problem is defensively, you lose a lot. You sacrifice a lot. And he's also better at finding the pockets and linking mid to attack higher up. So for me, trust your guys that they'll get in there. But I definitely understand the concern because 1,000%, and this is what we're scared of. Hey, Cope Miners versus Inter, merda, absolutely not. You want Locatelli in there, so I understand the concern. But for me, take care of business, sub them out, okay? Take care of business, then sub them out. But you got to trust your guys at some point because remember that game where we had Bremer, Mac, Chico all on early yellows going into halftime? Then Yildiz has an issue. He needs to step off. You get into a point where you just got to trust your guys. Hey, you know what the situation is. Don't do anything stupid. Play smart. Heads up.
Yeah.
Loca's going to have to do that today, and I actually trust that he'll make it through.
Best case scenario, we're up 1-2-0 at the first half, and we could take him out maybe after the first half, maybe in the 50th minute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Nick, what did you settle on for your final score? Because you kind of left it at, well, if we score one early, it's going to be 4-5. So what's it going to be? Are you going all in on the 4-0 or what?
4-0.
Holy shit. Wow. Okay. 4-0, early goal.
Sticking to my word, dude.
Okay, I respect that.
Cliff.
Happen? Who knows, but
let's rock.
I'm going to go 2-0 Juve. I'm going to go with a McKennie goal. And you know what? I don't know what in me is thinking this, but I'm going to say Jonathan David goal.
I was thinking that too.
Jonathan David and McKennie, and I think we see. You know what? I see a red card in this match. I see a red card in this match from Lazio. Can you pull up the lineup? Can I see it real quick for Lazio? No. Okay. Yeah, let's see it. I see a red card from Marusic. I don't know what about. I think Marusic. Either him or Romagnoli. I see a red card from, but I see a red card.
I hate that guy, man. Marusic. I can't stand him.
Yeah, he's
it's better than Guendouzi. At least you don't have to see that mutt's face again.
Hate his face. All right.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Okay, Trim, calm down. I'm not coming around on David just. No, I'm just kidding. David's playing well.
Pause. Easy.
Oh shit, you're right.
Easy. Okay.
Relax.
I'm going to say it's going to be 3-0 Juve. And,
all right,
boys, what are we talking about? Just signed, got the extension. Okay. It's going to be a celebration in the stadium. Yildiz is getting a brace today. What the fuck are we talking about? He's getting a brace.
Bro. Yeah.
Yildiz is getting a brace.
You know what,
and I'm going to tell you what. It might actually be 4 for Juve because David is probably going to get on the scoreboard in this game, but I'm actually going to go a little bit off the grid here and say Cambiasso scores today in this game. Cambiasso scores today against Lazio, but Yildiz gets a brace, if not a hat trick. Okay, he's going to go off. New signing, got it. The stadium's going to be rocking. We're all jacked on. He's going to have at least a brace. Lazio, you ain't ready for it. All right.
You know what, Al? You changed my mind. Fuck David. We're gonna go with our boy.
Don't do that. That's the worst thing you could do.
Now he's throwing shade at Trim for his.
You're damn right. I am. I know. You know what? You're right. I think the energy is flowing. You're right. I should have a little bit more confidence. I thought. I didn't want to be too cliche, but you're right. I think Yildiz and McKennie are the two scorers. But David maybe gets the assist.
Gatti.
All right.
When he comes out.
Okay. Well, here's my caveat, Colo. Over under on dangerous Cambiaso passes at 3. Over under.
Over.
Over 3 in this one game. I'm gonna say he gets 2.
What are we talking about?
Suspect passes backwards.
I'm gonna go under.
Yeah, I'm gonna say 2. I'm gonna say he gets like 2.
5.
But yeah, we're ready to take care of business, guys. A lot of good shit. A lot of fun. Let's get back rolling with the victories. But the Yildiz thing is going to be, I think, a big boost for this team. They're going to want to come out and make a statement there with that statement signing. Yildiz gives the impression that he wants to be put up there on the same step with Del Piero when it comes to Juve legends.
I hope so.
We all hope so. Excuse me. We all hope so. You listen to the kid talk, though. He speaks well beyond his years. Like, you don't hear many young players actually talking the way he does. And he just seems a very genuine person. I don't get vibes that he's going to jump at the first call or do any. I just don't get those vibes from him. I feel like he's just a super humble, hardworking kid. And I don't know, man. Like, I feel like there is a loyalty thing there that feels genuine. Well, the Del Piero thing, I think, is just amazing that you have this player. And Del Piero's a little bit closer now than he was a few years ago. And, man, the ads, the Del Piero collection, Yildiz and him there, like, I don't know. It feels right. It feels right. It feels like Yildiz is Juventus for now and for the future.
What's amazing is I think with all this hype and all this stuff, like you said, all these brands and all these deals, it's amazing how he's kept his, humbleness and he's kept that attitude throughout the whole way. And I don't want to throw out another name and like disrespect him, but like you take a Lamine Yamal, for example, he's been very much in the news. He's been very flashy. He's been out there. He's a phenomenal talent. But he's had some issues out in the media.
Yeah.
And you can see it's kind of getting to him. But you see Yildiz, he doesn't have that arrogance to him. He's very humble. So I'm very happy and very lucky as a Juve fan that we renewed him. And we have a kid who just seems like a genuinely good person. And you need players like that on the team that are willing to fight for the team, willing to stay humble, but still fighting, for their spot. Even though it's his spot, it's really nice to have a player like him in our squad.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a long time since you felt like you could actually like clamp down on a player and you actually feel like, man, this might be a throwback to the old school loyal players. Like he might actually be one, He might actually be one. So it's going to be interesting to see. Definitely the vibes are, if you had to bet, I would probably be willing to bet more on the fact that I believe now I actually have more faith and more belief that he's going to stay longer than what I initially expected. Mm-hmm. Because for a while I felt like, man, if we can maybe get things right, might be a couple of years. And this guy goes to try and compete on all fronts. But my God, man, Spalletti has a big part to play in this. It starts to feel like things are going right. Everything you hear out of Yildiz, it's given me faith that, you know what? He might be around for quite some time. And people that want to try to rattle Juventini, try to say that, oh, you're celebrating this too much, 100 million is going to come in. His value is going to go up. His value is only going to be climbing. Mm-hmm. Like, he's going to level. If we get things right in the summer and the team strengthens, he's going to level up. Yeah. He's going to level up. If Spalletti gets humming and he gets guys he wants and he keeps this thing improving, because right now, Spalletti's kind of tapped out. You know that what you're going to get out of the bench is very minimal, right? Yeah. So he's kind of tapped out. Not worse. He's pretty much gone to a plateau spot right now. That's why we can expect ups and downs through the season. But his value is only going to go up. Yildiz will level up as the team gets better. Chris, need a win as my birthday present. Hey, happy birthday, Chris. All the best. Tanti auguri. Hopefully, yeah, we get a nice route. And there is going to be a watch along 20 minutes before kickoff. We'll all be there. Hope to see you all there. And we'll share in the action, okay? With Yildiz getting a renewal, I think it's time for the real star to get a renewal. Milik, lifetime contract, thoughts. That's bait right there. That's bait right there.
That's a red card. That's a red card.
Lifetime contract at the fucking gelato stand outside Allianz Stadium giving people ice cream, okay? Get this mother...
He gets a lifetime ban. He gets a lifetime ban, not a lifetime contract.
I think we are preparing to go big on at least one signing this summer. What is your ideal window? In and out. Which big signing would you make? Also, people saying Osimhen. Doesn't he have that clause? I think the clause is gone for the Italian teams this season. I could be wrong on that, but look, I'll tell you right now where I'd start kind of looking. Gatti for me can go. You bring in Rugani's gone. He's on loan now. I don't see Rugani continuing either. So for me, Muaremovic would be awesome as like some type of backup that you can kind of groom and mold going into the future. Senesi would be fine on a free. Yeah. I still like the approach for Rudiger on a free. So those are all names like you look at. Bernardo Silva for me is like definitely one you have to attack. I'm going to be quite honest. I would love to see Tonali join. I'm not so sure it's doable.
Yeah.
This window. I'm not so sure it's doable because some of your main selling players aren't going to have the value. Like Cambiaso's value isn't what it was when the City offer came in. It's taken a serious hit. And Man City's interest is no longer there. Gatti can stand you some capital. Gatti could stand you some capital. If you could still get that 30 mil like was humming around last summer, you could get some there. Cambiaso's still going to be capital, but his value isn't going to be 60 anymore. Like, I mean, honestly, right now, it might be 30.
6.
Like, yeah, well, it's not going to be 6, but come on.
I think this is the thing with Silva. I think the Silva thing, I think the Silva free transfer is the first time and that's a free transfer if I'm correct, right, Al?
Bernardo Silva is a free transfer.
So that's the first transfer in a long time, at least a free transfer that reminds me of like a Pirlo type transfer. You get a player who's aging and people think is past it, but he's a really, really top quality player. The only thing is you need to do this deal this summer. There's no more waiting. You need to push to make the signing now because he's not getting any younger. I think if you get him now, you'll probably get 2 good years out of him. But you can't wait any longer. You need to get him in. You have to put him on a reasonable salary as well. You cannot overpay for him. But if you can get him on a reasonable deal and you do have some extra capital that you can deploy, Tonali would be incredible. But like you said, I think financially it's not very feasible. So I think for me, it's filling in those gaps, getting a striker, getting Senesi, getting Mremovic, getting
You're
Silva.
talking Silva, like 31 years old isn't even bad.
No,
like,
it's
definitely
not
get 2-3 years. And the other thing with Silva that doesn't get talked about enough in fans kind of reacting to the news of if he's potentially joined Juve. This season, he didn't miss a game so far, knock on wood. 3 days missed with something, but it was only training. 23-24 season, only missed 2 games, 13 total days out. 21-22 season, he missed 1 international match with Portugal. That's it. This guy's a bit of an Iron Man. A bit of an Iron Man as far as availability. And that's something that should definitely be appreciated by Juventini. Holy Christ. So for me, Silva would be a spectacular signing for Juventus, and I really hope we land him. The Tonali one, I would love. But we talked about this already. If you're talking about in and out, what you're trying to do, I'd say goodbye to Gatti. Cambiaso's kind of there on the brink. Cope Miners would need to go. You've got to find a midfielder. There's a lot of shouts in the chat about Frank Kessié. I'm going to be quite honest. He doesn't really do much for me. Yeah, I'd be looking Silva's way and another midfielder, different midfield, because you do need somebody that can operate like Locatelli, either somebody better or bare minimum somebody that can actually do it in his absence. I'm not so sure with Kessié. That's my thing. That's the only one I'm kind of iffy on. We'll see.
For me, like Gatti can go, Cabal can go, Coop is please go. Yeah, I don't think Cabal's good. I don't like him. Coop Miners go, Kostic go, Cambiasso probably, but and then what do we do? So like for the striker situation, right? So I mean Milik, forget about it. Vlahovic probably going to be going, right? And then who do we have? We got Openda and David. It's like, what do we do now? Like
Openda's not even striker, so you got to figure something out. You only got one.
Yeah,
I got one.
What
really.
do we do? Like, do we?
You need a striker. You have to bring in a striker.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
We'll have to see what's out there on the market and everything. And is there a situation that opens up? A lot of fans have been saying it out, and they might think that Vlahovic does a 1 year a la Rabiot and stick around another year. I don't really know. I think Duchan's leaving. I think he's leaving 100%. Yeah. So we're going to have to find a solution there. But the problem with the guys up top is this. You have David, who in my opinion, right now, he started to turn it around. I'm probably leaning towards the fact that come season's end, probably want to keep him around as an option for next season, but he carries capital because he came in on a free. The problem here is Openda, and it's a big problem because it's a 42 million obligation. He's got to snap out of whatever funk he's in, because right now he's at a position where if Juve wants to cut the cord, they're taking a loss. So now all of a sudden you have two guys. The only way you're going to say goodbye is taking a loss. Cope Miners, we need to get 33 million in a sale to break even. That might not actually happen.
Yeah.
That's a crazy drop for a guy that's top 5 midfielder for 3-4 years on the trot. Fantastic production numbers at Atalanta. Get him for 60. Can't even move him for 33 2 years later. Would have never guessed it. That's a crazy, crazy drop. But Openda, those represent issues because you can't just keep Openda around if he doesn't turn it around from here on out and just say goodbye to David because he's pure capital. That's not how you build a team. That's going backwards, in my opinion. Yeah. So I said it. Juve might struggle if they want to do things properly with his team because they might have to take a hit. They might have to take a hit somewhere. Unless you bring in players and Openda can actually be used from the outside as a winger, which he was at Leipzig to Seshko. So he was always a support guy. It ain't going to happen for him as a lead 9. We're just a little handcuffed right now because Vlahovic is out till April. These are all things that we have to wait to sort out. It's hard to answer these all right now in February.
Yeah.
So these questions about your ideal in and out, it could change drastically. Because there will be a lot of names that appear from here to the summer that could change our way of thinking. That's the way it is. Preliminary day. Cambiasso. Oh, man. You want to go internal fire with the preliminary day? If Guendouzi was in there, he'd definitely get it. But Marusic. 100%, man.
Yeah.
What a mutt. Marusic gets a preliminary day. Knowing we're going for a new striker in the summer, would you go back for Kolo Muani?
Yes.
For the third
Spalletti
time.
usually uses a more classic 9. I think we've been missing that killer a la Trez for a long while. Would you go back in for Kolo Muani? Cliff says yes.
Yeah.
I mean, we should have gotten him back already by this point. You know, like, I don't know.
I'm not hell-bent
like
on Kolo Muani has to come in. Like, I'm not hell-bent on it. I would revisit it, but again, what are the other options? I'm not like
Everyone's dropping Skamaka in here, and I'm gonna throw up in my mouth because
Yeah.
I don't know
I,
about
I
that.
I just think I envision Colo as our striker and David being as the backup. If he finishes the season with, I don't know, say 10 goals and like 7 assists at striker for the season, I would very much not mind him as our backup and Colo starting up top.
I'm not hellbent on Colo has to come back. I think we can revisit it, but I'm not hellbent. I actually on Skamaka, I will say this. He's physical, he's big, he's tall. He has things we don't have, and he's actually very skilled for a guy that size. I'll tell you that. He's very skilled. He scores some absolute bangers. Don't forget, he's coming off a serious injury. And he's actually all right. He handled Bremer very well. Nobody can deny. In that Coppa Italia clash, that's the hardest time Bremer has had in a long time. Pellegrino is bigger than Skamaka, and Bremer had less of a hard time dealing with him than he did Skamaka. I don't think he's anything to scoff at, but he's also not like a lead. Like, I would never look to Skamaka to be your absolute leader, 9 striker, etc. But he's definitely got traits we don't have right now. 100%.
He does. You're right. I agree with that. I feel like we need, like you just said, we don't have like a number 9 where it's like this guy has to play most games.
Yeah.
Start. You know, like I don't see that with anyone we have now. All these names that are coming through, I still don't see that. Besides maybe Kolo Muani, maybe. I'm not hellbent on getting him either. So I'm with you on that. It's just like it's a waiting game. I feel like we need to see what happens between now and the end of the season and then figure it out. But
I've always seen the same thing with Kolo Muani, and if I go back to last season when he joined us, I said the same thing. He struggles the same way the current guys struggle in the physical defenders. When they get physical, Kolo Muani just shies away. He's not that guy. That's why I appreciate Skamaka, and I actually believe he's got the traits. You need one guy, at least one guy. He doesn't have to be your main, but you have to have one guy amongst the ranks that you could say, you know what? You got this big dummy, Yarimina, out here. Go and occupy him. Be physical, fight back, and you can bank on it that Skamaka would. And Skamaka's aerial threat, he could score bangers. He has. I'm just saying, I wouldn't scoff at it if that became an option. So at least now you have different types of strikers. That's it. Because if you're asking for Gatti to go up top, well, I'm taking Skamaka. Okay? So if we want Gatti up top.
Okay?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know how you're gonna feel about this because of the team he's on, but regardless of that, I'm just thinking now, like going back to what you were saying about him being a big physical presence. I'm a big fan of P.O. Esposito. So that'd be something that'd be cool to see. But I highly doubt that would happen.
I can't do it because dude's just such a huge hype train. He is good though. He's a big kid. But I think
I like him a lot.
The hype train around him is just so insane. But I do think he's interesting.
You know,
Here's the other thing too, though. Esposito could be what pushes Marcus Thuram into the hands of Juventus, and I would be all over that. But listen, no. There's a lot of rumors there. Listen, Inter has a 90 mil release clause on Marcus Thuram. They have him locked up contract because these rumors have been flying around. I've been getting a lot of messages, and they're like, "What do you think about Marcus Thuram? We should join the brothers." Listen, he's contracted up until 2028. Inter is going to want so much fucking money for this guy. I don't see it happening. The only way is if Marcus Thuram waits it out and then it's on a free. But I said this and I was pissed off because from day one, I said, bring me Marcus Thuram on a free. When he was a free agent that season and Inter snatched him up, immediately put a 90 mil release. I was like, why? Like, Lilian Thuram played for Juve. You have an awesome attacker that is versatile. He's big. He's an aerial threat. He can do it all. He's physical. And he plays off to the wing as a striker. That one blows me away that we just let him, like, basically walk into Inter's hands, that one pisses me off to this day. But as far as now, oh man, I don't see it happening. I don't see it happening.
A lot of Retegui flopping in the chat here.
I want
12 goals in Saudi is like being huge in Japan. I don't really know. Okay.
I want our boy Moise Keane back, guys. Let's bring Moise Keane back from Fiorentina.
That I wouldn't mind.
We do
No returns, man. Fuck, no returns. I don't give a shit about dance. We don't need to dance. Speaking of dance, Trimbley, fucking yellow card, buddy, for bringing up the Jonas Brothers in the chat.
It's a great shout. I have not listened to the Nick Jonas
album. It is not a great
shout.
shout.
I'm going to listen to it now.
God damn it. All right.
Wow.
If we really need a scoring midfielder, I would rather splash 60 million on McTominay than on Tonali. If you think Napoli is going to sell McTominay to Juventus, you've got another thing coming, Panda. All right?
Also,
I love you,
not
brother.
For 60 mil.
But ain't no chance. Chance they sell. To us, anyways. Yildiz will end his career at least a top 5 Juventus player and one of the best players in history. He's got all the tools and the right personality. This is a fun little what if here. Top 5 Juventus players end his career as a top 5 Juventus player. There's an insane list of Juventus greats.
Sure are.
To get into the top 5. I will say this. I will say this. He does have everything it takes to do that. That's all I'm going to say. And Justin is questioning whether you guys are sober or not right now with the Moise Keane shout.
I mean, I'm hammered, so this isn't actually coffee.
8:30 a.m.
Just being honest. Yeah, I mean,
spoke with someone in Regensburg that knows Yildiz family. He's coming from a good family that raised him well. I think you could see that. Like I said, just how humble he is, right? And it's very rare to see a young talent just behave the way he does, speak the way he does. It's refreshing. It's awesome. And we should all feel lucky. We're lucky to have Yildiz. Yildiz is a gem, an absolute gem. Yildiz is lucky for Juventus as well because we saved him from Bayern, who are scum. If you look at talent and quality compared to ego, is ADP the best player with the lowest ego you've seen? I've heard him be called a world-class attacker with the ego of a rotational right back. If you look at talent and quality compared to ego, is ADP the best player with the lowest ego? Ooh, I got to think about best players with lowest ego right now. I mean, he's probably up there if you're looking at it. For me, ADP is the man. He's the fucking man, just period.
Yeah.
For everything.
I think
ADP's up there. I think Pirlo is up there. He never said anything. I don't think Pirlo was he never talked. I think Buffon never talked. Like those greats of Italian football never talked.
I personally have a shout here that I have to make, and it's Giorgio Chiellini.
Oh yeah,
having met the man, okay, and obviously I met Del Piero the same summer, but it's funny with Del Piero. I still love the guy, and I still agree. Best player for ego, talent. Like, yeah, he's there. He doesn't have an ego or anything, but you could see a little bit of Hollywood in him when we were there in LA and stuff. Chiellini will sit there and talk to you as if the two of you have known each other for 10 years. You talk about him and I'm like, dude, you were literally like, I never liked defending. Like I was like, I've never played defense. Like I have in a pinch here and there through my playing days, but I'm like, you made me like love the art of defending. And I was like, you're just a phenomenal defender. You're my father's favorite defender ever. And he goes, no, he goes, it's easy when you have Barzagli, Bonucci, Buffon. He would never just fuck. I was like, no, man, you are like the best For me,
He
you were
busted
like
his head
the
open.
best. And he just
broke his
doesn't even, he
nose.
will not acknowledge. He's like, no. He's like, we just had he's like, you had a solid squad and Bonucci makes it easier for me. Barzagli,
Oh,
Buffon.
Mike,
He's like,
give
I
me a-
always had greats around. I'm like, dude, you are the fucking man. He's pure class. No ego whatsoever. None at all with Giorgione. I got to throw him on the list.
Yeah,
He's
1,000%.
probably my favorite player ego wise. Like if you're looking at a great player and a great person, he's probably my number one. To be honest with you, because
You look at a player who literally gave their blood for the team every single match. He busted his head open multiple times. His nose is
He sure did.
destroyed. His nose is destroyed, and like he just always fought for the team,
Big nose.
no matter what.
Dude,
I love
Giorgione,
him.
man, what a. But yeah, you're talking about no ego for level of player.
Yeah.
He's up there.
Yeah,
He is up there.
1,000%.
If anything, it's the other way around with Bonucci, bro. He made Bonucci look better player than he was. Once Chiellini retired and was just Bonucci back there, not even close.
I don't know, man, because I'll tell you right now, the season that like Bonucci doesn't get enough credit. I don't agree with the fact that the two, like I've always looked at defensive too. Like the pairings are very important, but what they had was special. It was next level, man. But when Chiellini went down, and it was a new delict joining Juventus. I don't think people understand how massive Bonucci was for that season, man. I know that people are going to hate him. I know he said a lot of stupid things. I know there was the Milan thing, but I'm telling you, Bonucci was class, man. Like, he was actually class.
Well, I'm not saying...
Towards the end, he started to lose it. We started to see the ass checking and,
Yeah.
Also, let's talk about this. He's probably one of the greatest passers as a defender we've ever seen.
Yeah. His long balls were something different. I'll tell you that too.
Alex P just doesn't like Bonucci. Take it easy. He's got slightly more hair
terrible.
than you. It's okay, brother. Okay, like it's
Slightly.
all good. Okay, he was terrible. Come on. At the end, he was, but no, he was fucking awesome throughout that decade of dominance, man. He was so good until the bitter end when it was time to say goodbye. But my God, man, Bonucci was fucking unreal, man. If
Also
he doesn't.
Barzagli.
And I'm telling you, he doesn't make that move to Milan for whatever reasons, all this shit, be singing a different tune. But as a player, for us, he was huge. He was huge.
1,000%.
Should we keep Spalletti? 1,
Yes.
2, 3 more seasons with this core of players. He's got a 1-year automatic
grass
option.
green?
They want to renew 2. I'm going to say this, and I've always said it. I know that there was one point in time where we were currently paying 3 managers, and obviously it was Spalletti, Motta, Tudor. But look, I'm going to say this. I don't give a shit what the terms are for the years, okay? If you sign him on a 2-year, you sign him on a 3-year, whatever, right? Because at the end of the day, that money doesn't affect, your coaching money doesn't affect your actual like FFP. It doesn't go towards that. So it has no bearings on it. So whether you sign him for a 2-year, you sign him for 3, who gives a shit? At the end of the day, if you have to pay a guy even while you're not using him, that's just a business decision that you have to make. So for me, make it 2, make it 3, doesn't really matter.
4?
Yeah, it doesn't really matter. You cut ties if you need to, and you pay whatever it is. But 2 years, 3 years... 3 years should always be a max for coaches, in my opinion. 3 years, like a max contract. You can frickin' renew during that second season, whatever. But 2's a little bit light too because you're already through one season and you got to think about renewing.
Yeah.
3 is kind of the norm, right?
Yeah.
You know?
I'd say 3. 3 is good.
Yeah,
Three's
I
good.
agree.
3's good. 3's good. What is Jeremy's dream car? A Bugatti. That's not like it's not terrible, Adam. It's no, that's not red worthy. Come on.
It's
He didn't
definitely
have
yellow.
to explain
Definitely
it.
yellow.
Is it not even a yellow? It's fine. I'm gonna put you on the spot. Tell me a joke right now, Cliff.
I'm not in the chat and I don't have infinite amount of time.
Okay, well guess what then, bud? Yellow for you.
Ooh.
Wow,
No
that's
jokes.
disrespectful, man. That's
Nick, do you got a joke for us?
Can't read.
Can't read.
To tell a joke? Tell us a joke. No
Honestly, I
jokes?
think that was a joke. joke that he can't read. I think that was the joke.
Dude,
I had a quick one
listen,
right here. Cold Miners.
The booze are
and the
kicking
jokes
in.
I have, I really don't want our channel getting in trouble here. Okay, so everybody, on that note, hey, we got Lazio today. It's going to be a celebration. It's going to be a celebration for Kenan Yildiz. We got a great deal in there, a big symbol of ambition from all involved. Everybody's saying the right things. Hey, you see the predictions here. Lazio, terrible on the road. Dog shit on the road. Take advantage. Beat the brakes off them. Yildiz, I believe, goes off. We need the win today, and I believe we're going to get it. Forza Juve, Eric, okay? Let's get it done. And there's even shouts for a Jeremy Boga goal today. Yeah, get the regulars out after taking care of business, okay? 2 goals in the first half, 1 early in the second half. See the subs come on. They might even add to it. Maybe Nick nails it with a 4-0 scoreline. Let's see, everybody. But Cliff, Nick, absolute pleasure as always, boys. Army, you guys are the best. Drop a like if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel. And guess what? We're here at the week where we give away 2 kits. 0405 Nike Home and the 0506 Nike Home. Thank you to all our AJC members that are in legend status. They, of course, are in their separate giveaway as well as the main one for all subscribers. If you're tuning in on X or other platforms, get over to YouTube, smash the subscribe button, and good luck in the giveaways. We got plenty more monthly. All right, that's our way of showing love for all the support we get. Till next time, which is actually going to be, 4 hours from now, when it's time to beat the shit out of Lazio and give them one of these. Till then, fino alla fine, Forza Juventus, a Yildiz show coming today. I'm calling it. The Yildiz show today. Let's go, baby.